This is not just a giant truck. It is a stadium machine built to fly, land, and survive. Every jump looks exciting from the crowd, but the landing is where the real punishment begins. The tires, shocks, chassis, and driver safety systems all take the hit together. To understand how a monster truck survives huge jumps, we have to start inside the workshop. The build begins with a strong tubular chassis, designed to carry massive force from every landing. Every weld matters, because one weak joint can fail when the truck comes down from the air. In the arena, that chassis has to survive the force of full-speed jumps and brutal impacts. When the truck lands hard, the frame must stay straight while the suspension absorbs the violence. Underneath the truck, the chassis, axles, and suspension are all exposed to extreme force. Next comes the suspension, one of the most important systems on a monster truck. Massive suspension links connect the chassis to the axles and help control the giant tires. These huge shocks are built to absorb landings that would destroy a normal vehicle. In mid-air, suspension extends fully before the truck comes crashing back down. When the front tires hit first, the shocks compress hard to control the impact. Then the rear suspension takes the second hit and helps keep the truck stable. The rear setup is built strong because it often carries the hardest landing forces. Mechanics tune each shock so the truck can land, recover, and keep moving. For the event, suspension travel is tested to make sure nothing binds or breaks. A monster truck does not survive one jump only. It has to survive repeated hits in one run. When the truck lands awkwardly, the suspension can be the difference between control and a rollover. The chassis and suspension work together like one survival system. The axles are built heavy because they carry the giant tires and take huge landing loads. The front axle has to handle steering, impact, and massive weight transfer. The drivetrain sends power to the wheels while surviving vibration, torque, and heavy shock. The tires hit the dirt first, taking the first part of every landing. In loose dirt, those giant tires grip, slide, and help the driver control the truck. The rubber flexes hard on impact, helping absorb force before the suspension takes over. Mounting a monster truck tire is serious work because everything is oversized. Wheel hubs and lug hardware must hold under extreme weight and repeated impacts. Tire pressure is checked carefully because the tire has to grip, flex, and survive. Under the body, the engine gives the truck the power to launch off the ramp. Cooling systems help manage heat during repeated runs, revs, and hard arena action. When the truck hits the ramp, engine power turns into height, distance, and danger. The intake and power components are built to deliver strong response when the driver needs it. Every part of the powertrain is checked because the landing can shake the whole machine. When the engine fires up, the workshop build becomes a living monster. Inside the cockpit, the roll cage is built to protect the driver from violent impacts. The racing seat keeps the driver low, secure, and locked into the truck. Harnesses, switches, and safety gear are placed so the driver can stay controlled during chaos. From the driver's view, the ramp comes fast, and there is no room for hesitation. On landing, the cabin shakes hard, but the harness and cage keep the driver protected. If the truck lands crooked, safety and stability become more important than power. Steering parts are built strong because controlling giant tires is not easy. Mechanics check the steering system so the driver can correct the truck after landing. Alignment and setup help the truck stay predictable at speed. The body shell gives the monster truck its aggressive sports look, but the strength is underneath. When the finished truck sits in the shop, every part has one job: survive the arena. Before showtime, mechanics inspect bolts, shocks, tires, engine parts, steering, and safety systems. Now the truck leaves the workshop and heads toward the real test. Inside the stadium, the machine becomes part engineering, part entertainment, and part pure power. At the start line, the crowd sees a show. The truck is about to face impact after impact. The ramp approach is where speed, timing, suspension, and driver control all come together. In the air, the truck looks weightless, but gravity is about to hit back hard. Good landing means the truck absorbs the impact and keeps driving forward. But one jump is never enough. The truck has to survive again and again. After landing, the driver still has to steer, slide, and set up for the next move. This is why monster trucks are both sports machines and engineering machines. The final jump shows the full result of the build: power, height, control, and survival. When it lands clean, the suspension proves why the truck was built this way. From factory fabrication to stadium jumps, this is how monster trucks are built to survive huge landings.